Hello and welcome to the Ministry of Magic, a third episode on creating some magic in your life. These are simple strategies to create an extraordinary life. Also, the laws that govern the brain function will be discussed, along with some habits that build you a superior health. That is physical and mental health in the light of COVID-19. A lot of people are suffering from mental health and depression and anxiety and all kinds of things that we will discuss here, as well as leadership think tanks, since you're the leader of your life, your family, and your business. This is the Mountains Are Calling series, simple strategies that will revolutionize your life. If you haven't watched our introduction and first chapter, Your Why, I encourage you to subscribe and watch those videos. I guarantee you there will be things that you haven't come across, and there will be some learning that will help you live your life with more peace of mind. So with that introduction, let's begin and go to the Ministry of Magic. So welcome again, and chapter 2 is the Ministry of Magic, which is the title of this book, and we have broken it down to 2 sessions since it's such an important chapter in this book, starting with the positive mental attitude. Patricia Neal said that a positive mental attitude will create more miracles than any other drug. So we're here to help you create some miracles in your own life, and we will dig in chapter 2, session 1, a positive mental attitude. Our ability to follow through on our best intentions to get into a new habit or to change our behavior in any way does not depend on the reasons we might do it, but on the depth of our convictions. It does not depend on our understanding of the benefits of a particular behavior or even on the strength of our willpower. It depends on our willingness to be bad at our desired behavior until we master it. Motivation is not something that we can always muster at command. A sound physical and mental health is our own responsibility. When life gets tough, will you give up or will you be relentless? Will you be a cynic or will you be a builder? Will you be clever at the expense of others or will you choose to be kind? I hazard a prediction after observing my parents reach a mature age of 80 plus. But when you are 80 years old and sit for a quiet moment of reflection, memorizing and narrating the most personal version of your story, the story that will be most memorable and meaningful will be the series of choices that you have made, series of unusual choices that you've made, and the kindness that you betrayed in the moment of despair. Life, of course, does not come with instructions. We know that life does not get better by chance, but it does get better by choice. Life gets better by continuous learning, and most importantly, by making adjustments to our daily activities and habits as we grow older. We are talking about some minor adjustments in our eating, sleeping, and thinking habits. Small corrections that can lead to improved physical and mental health and our productivity. Most people think there is nothing they can do about their circumstances or that their lives is harder than anyone. So they attempt to take the shortcuts in life. Fast food, faster drive to get nowhere, and shorter tempers are the results of looking for shortcuts in the process of what we really want and our own way of life. Most depend on luck or misfortune, and misfortune is the one that rules. As we see people giving into their usual and die in a quiet desperation to take risks, take the risk of short-circuiting the process. There are many philosophies one can die by, but we need a real philosophy to live by, which I call the compound effort effect, We ultimately benefit from the compound effect of our learning, working, and building efforts. God never puts a real dream inside your heart without giving you the ability to turn it into reality. But we have to put forth the effort. This book was written to bring you some inspirational instructions, fun practices, and healthy daily routines that will put you in charge of your life. What direction will you take in shaping your own destiny, and how you want your life is a choice. We human beings are such worried little creatures. Our poor mangled minds just worry, compare, and become concerned about everything that we cannot understand and cannot control. We fret and squeeze and rage in suffering, trying to find some sort of comfort in our misfortunes and mangled minds. Occasionally, if you get the idea that we're doing the right, what we're supposed to do, we feel happy. And most people are constantly living in misery and crisis of life. They gripe and complain about what's tough in their life, or how unfairly they have been treated. I just wonder if this life was not meant to be full of love, joy, happiness, and possibilities. Of course, we know life is hard. None of us get out of here untouched or alive. Therefore, I suggest minimizing the things that cause suffering while we're here. Things like worry, stress, pity are not healthy. Therefore, we must replace them with hope, creativity, and action. I just don't know when I'm 85 years old. I just know that when I'm 85 years old, I'm not going to worry about all the things that I couldn't control or all my mistakes or chances I didn't take. I have made the best of my life circumstances. The physical body is a house that the Creator has provided as a dwelling place for the mind. It is the most perfect mechanism ever built, and it is self-maintaining. The brain serves as the command center, operator of the nervous system, and the coordinator of all physical activity. It is also the receiver of all the sense of perception, but the brain is yet to be fully understood and explained by science. The brain coordinates all senses of perception, knowledge, and memory into patterns that we call thoughts. Our brain is the commander of all of the voluntary and all involuntary activity operations carried out by the conscious and the subconscious part of the mind. Our daily habits and physical life activities are controlled and can be carried out consciously, while things such as breathing, heartbeat, digestion, blood circulation, nervous system, and much more that we do not consciously control. The brain is the storehouse of all knowledge, interpreter of influences of environment, and the source of thought. It is also the most powerful and least understood organ of the body. The brain is the housing place of the subconscious as well as the conscious section of the mind. The energy and the intelligence with which thoughts produce flows into the brain from the great universal storehouse of what the author Napoleon Hill calls the infinite intelligence or the universe. The brain is only the receptor and distributor of this energy through our words and actions. Amongst many other duties, the brain runs a first-class department of chemistry through which it breaks up and assimilates the food we consume. It liquefies the food and distributes it to the body through the bloodstream to every part of for the maintenance and repair of individual cells. All of this service is performed automatically, but there are certain simple aids that each individual can give the brain. In this chapter, we will discuss some of these aids that I have learned through my personal recovery from a brain injury and total memory loss and the subsequent recovery. A sound physical and mental health begins with a sound health consciousness, just as financial success begins with prosperity consciousness. That is being aware of your thoughts regarding that particular topic of health or money. Let it be known that no one ever succeeds without a prosperity consciousness, nor does anyone enjoy a sound physical health without a health consciousness. First and foremost of these aids that we can give our brains to grow, expand, and even recover from injury is the ability to maintain a positive mental attitude. As much as the brain is the undisputed central command of the physical body, I should mention that the sound mental health demands a positive mental attitude. To maintain a health consciousness, one must think in terms of sound health and never think in terms of ill health, disease, or pity for oneself. Whatever the mind dwells upon consistently, the mind brings into existence. Health, happiness, joy, and financial success are the results of what consumes our minds on a daily basis. The French psychologist Émile Coué gave the world its first simple formula for the sound mental attitude a century ago when he taught his students the simple principle that day by day, in every way, I am getting better and better. As a matter of fact, you can start practicing it right now. Just in quotations, day by day, in every way, I am getting better and better. The application of this mantra uses the principle of auto-suggestion that is the simplest way to get you on the right mindset. Covey recommended that his students repeat this sentence thousands of times daily until it's picked up by the subconscious mind. Eventually, when it is picked up, accepted, and carried out to its logical conclusion in terms of sound health and financial abundance. Sadly, many people, even reading this book or hearing this audio program, will not practice this one simple daily exercise, but those who do will definitely see the results. I picked up this simple formula in an audio program while in recovery, accepted it in good faith, and practiced it daily. It has produced marvelous results in terms of sound health, sound physical health, and creation of opportunities. I used a simple line during my recovery that took 2 years. I didn't feel great every day, but I made progress and felt better and better until eventually I was more fit and felt better than ever before. I was able to defragment and reprogram my mind that has produced superb powers, which I tapped into to write 2 books, this one being the second. Here is another reason a positive mental attitude is essential for the maintenance of sound physical health. All the energy, all thought energy, whether it is positive or negative, is carried out to every cell in your body and deposited there as energy on which the cell operates. The energy of thought is carried out to the body through the nervous system and the bloodstream. It is a known fact that the body mixes this energy of thought with every particular food that is assimilated and made ready for circulation in the bloodstream. It is also known fact that any form of worry, fear, anger, jealousy, and hatred that one may experience while eating causes the food to firm up in the stomach without becoming properly assimilated, resulting in indigestion and internal problems. To maintain a positive mental attitude suitable for development and maintenance of sound health consciousness, the mind must be free of negative thoughts and influences through self-discipline and established daily habits. While in recovery, when I felt anxious or worried, I walked it off. While listening to positive podcasts, audios like this, and thought about remarkable things that I have already had in my life. I started the practice of walking at least 25 kilometers a week, and then when my mind and body were more stable, I started the habit of running. Today, I still run routinely to take care of my body and keep this discipline to improve my physical health. To stay healthy, there must be no complaining, griping, or fault finding because these affect the digestive system, organs, and our performance at home and workplace. There must be no hatred. To stay healthy, there must be no complaining, griping, fault finding because these affect the digestive system, organs, and our performance at home and workplace. There must be no hatred, for hatred upsets the digestive system and causes many problems in our society. There must be no fear. It indicates friction in human relationships, a lack of harmony and understanding within one's mind, and discourages digestion. There must be no talk about ill health, illness, disease, or for those lead to development of worst of diseases. A disease that is known to doctors as hypochondriac. It is the imaginary illness to the average person. A hypochondriac is someone who lives with the fear that they may have a serious but undiagnosed medical condition, even though diagnosis test shows that there is nothing wrong with them. Hypochondriacs experience extreme anxiety from the bodily causes. The responses must people take for granted. So, hypochondriacs experience extreme anxiety from the bodily responses most people take for granted. During COVID-19, fear of death has caused more casualties than the pandemic virus itself, as I understand and believe it to be true. Third of these crucial factors in keeping a sound physical health is our eating habits. Eating right alone is worthy of an entire book, but there are many professionally written books on the subject that you can access. So I will confine myself to a few simple recommendations which are on the must-to-do list if you want to enjoy a sound physical health. First, there must be no overeating. It causes because it overworks the heart, the liver, and kidneys and the digestive system. A straightforward way to control overeating is to get up from the table before one is fully satisfied. This habit may be a bit difficult to acquire at first, but once you master it, it will pay dividends, big dividends, saving you thousands of dollars in medical bills and doctor's visits. Food is fuel for the body, not a hobby to be exploited. When we eat a certain amount of food, we must make sure that it's followed by equal amount of physical activity. Otherwise, the excess is stored in terms of fat in various parts of the body. Being overweight is often a result of stress eating, overeating, or lack of physical activity and the beginning of many health problems. I rarely take any pharmaceutical or manufactured drugs. I have observed that while pharmaceutical drugs aim to repair one part of the body, they often destroy the other parts or organs. I have built myself a suggestion that I am a self-healer. I am a self-healer. Being a self-healer suggests that the body has the power to heal itself of any illness or disease if you give it the right nutrition and enough physical activity with the right mindset. With the mindset that day by day, in every way, I am getting better and better. One must eat a balanced ration of consisting of a fair portion of fruits and vegetables because they contain many minerals and elements that the nature demands in the building and maintenance of a physical health, their physical health. By eating right and thinking correctly, we can go a long way of keeping the doctor away. I have learned that this from hundreds of health experts, nutritionists, psychologists, and doctors and nurses in one of the best healthcare systems in the world, the Canadian healthcare system and its professionals. I was blessed to have such an unique exposure, not because of my unhealthy habits, but merely an accident that almost brought me to a total health breakdown and financial devastation. My recovery was nothing short of a miracle, but the results of defragmentation and reprogramming of my mind through habits that keep the body in good health. My recovery was full of valuable lessons, and I will share some of them here in this book with you. Thinking with the right mental attitude, regardless of your circumstances, is a tough personal responsibility. It's not easy, but no one can do this for you. When it comes to eating properly, there are many resources to find out how to eat healthy. But keeping a positive mental attitude is our own individual responsibility. Our mental attitude has a very powerful determinant, has a very determinant for improving our physical health. What we dwell on eventually develops inside us. Let me repeat that. What we dwell on eventually develops inside us. I believe if we dwell on the positive side of life, eventually positive develops inside of us. A healthy mind lives inside a healthy body, and a health consciousness is the source of healthy living. Today, more people are following these guidelines and living longer, happier lives all over the world. Eat right, think right, followed by enough physical activity, and you will always feel right. Even when disaster strikes, a positive mental attitude will enable us to pull ourselves out of the pits of life and regain our physical health. When we have superior healthy habits and right disciplines, we will look into life with into the future with a brighter hope, with brighter hopes. We will be able to develop an abiding faith in the future. Faith in ourselves will give us a greater chance of success in our workplace, happier home life, and wonderful personal relationships. Keeping faith will keep you free from fear and worry. We will be able to enjoy confidence in our abilities to solve life's problems. We will build lasting friendships, and we will enjoy a closer relationship with our Creator, whom I believe intended that we should be healthy and enjoy the full powers of our own minds. With that, here we conclude session 1 of the Ministry of Magic, second chapter entitled Ministry of Magic. Next, we will talk about how each of us are bridge builders. In the next episode, with that in mind, we are all building bridges between our communities, between our countries and the whole world, and the world is changing with the information technology and also with the internet. So with that in mind, I wanted to invite you to subscribe and please listen to this. And I am getting better day by day in every way. So will you if you keep listening and watching and reading. Thank you, and see you on the next session.